Gwanji Monks, and I'm an artist here with my partner Jasmine Scheidler and my 2 young children. And we came here thinking that we were going to be here for a two-month holiday, and it ended up being a lifelong commitment, really. These are native finger lines, and they're actually native to this area, with this region here. So you can sort of see them. They're also a delicacy, and you never see them in the local markets because they get all exported to Brisbane and Sydney, to all these sort of exotic restaurants and stuff like that. So it's bizarre to kind of to have people up here from this area, locals that have been here for a long time, and introduce them to their native fruit. It's and they are the caviar of citrus.
Wow.
You can see,
oh wow.
You know.
Cool.
Like that.
Try.
And you have it on fish, or you can...
Thanks, brother.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
So, for example, this is one of the first paths that we did, and it was a matter of, I saw a busted up pavement, and so I went out and grabbed all the the busted up concrete, and that was the available material here. So this is all what we call kind of crazy paving. So that kind of created this path, and then we kind of came along and found a bit of sandstone, so we sort of started doing the sort of sandstone side of it. And you can see these bottom walls here. These are just rendered bottom walls with little bits of polypipe coming out. You can see it crack through there, it doesn't matter. That releases all the water that builds up behind. So sometimes in the wet season there's just full-on spouts of water sort of coming out there. So, and also I guess there's a sort of a stigma about composting toilets, is that they smell, and I don't want to have mechanical devices like they put 12 volt little computer fans and stuff into it to vent and stuff. So I'm trying to get away with sort of having it open enough so it's freely ventilated, but also I guess just sort of allow that freedom, because my building experience has been, as soon as you kind of have the structure and it looks all really beautiful and open, as soon as you start putting walls and cladding it in, it really confines and really kind of congests the whole sort of feeling. So I'm just using really alternative materials, going out, denailing. You can see all the sort of building materials that I sourced from, and just cutting logs out of the bush just up here, and sort of just doing sort of selective logging, which I think is really sustainable. And so this here is the composting toilet. It's actually what I consider to be pretty much the best aspect in the whole house. And I've always thought of a toilet as being a sort of a beautiful place to sort of relax, really, and really kind of take in life. And so for it to have sort of pride of place, and you're not locked up in this sort of little space, that you kind of have this door shut on you, sort of this far away from your nose and really confined, I've actually really expanded it, so it's actually a really generous room. And so you can sort of gather the sense of the pride in which sort of I take my toilets. And so here we've got, I'll pull it out for you. So there will be a flue that's, I think, 190 mil is council regulations. The flue, or the drop pipe, will come and go through this. 2 pipes, all vented. And on the back side, I've glued them in, but on the back side there's 20 mil holes that run all through the back. What is going to be the bottom, and there's holes in the bottom of this one too. Spin that around so they don't collect the liquid and don't collect any of the poo. We put grass in here, so it's probably about 150 mil of what we call bladey grass, which is a really good it's a good weaving sort of grass. Pack it in there. Also, we pack it up this side so that urine doesn't directly go into here, it all collects. We've also got this galvanized sort of grate. So what happens is you roll this in. When I said that this is the lid, this is actually not the lid. The lid is on the vent. So, and it's a retractable lid. It's like a hood that you might put over the top of a chimney. It's like a rubber membrane. And so that rubber is then, you pull that off, you kick that back and you can pull it away. Then the next one comes in and pretty much you just put that lid, bang, straight back over the top of it. That's cool.
And that's your work.
Yeah, this is sort of, it's my sort of fantasy with architecture that I think has failed. And this is like all my roadkill. It's got like, and dead chickens and the full deal, like, and it is heavy now. And I'm not really sure what to do with it. Like, I thought it was a good idea at the time. But it's, yeah, I have to neutralise it somehow because it's pretty acid.
Lime
so.
maybe or something?
Yeah, like heaps of lime, I think. It's got wallabies and everything, and it's like...
So that could be a good like blood and bone type.
Yeah, occasionally I stir it, and I think the bones disintegrate.
Oh my goodness.
They're so sort of acid and stuff.
Does it smell like hell?
It's not. It's getting better.
Yeah.
It used to really
Getting
palm.
more organic.
I'm not sure what's in there. Sort of. Yeah.
That's not dinner, right?
No. And then here I've kind of jasmine. There's this big sort of I guess a bit of a scare with sort of planting bamboos because there's been so many running bamboos around planted. So this is kind of, jasmine's sort of allowed again me to sort of make a sort of a bit of a bamboo kind of grass kind of corridor. So there's some sort of Chinese emperor and some tiger grass and some black bamboo, and yeah, they're all sort of dwarfish kind of varieties. And sort of orchid nursery.
Oh, I love orchids.
So I'm starting to sort of collect quite a few all around the place. Some of them are natives and some of them are not. And just when they pop like that, I just break them off.
And this is your
This is just a bit of a
orchid
hobby kind of
nursery?
thing. I've got another couple of nurseries down there on the flat, but I guess that this is sort of one that I kind of thought I walk through here quite a bit, and just that idea of having flowering plants in a sort of a nursery type environment, sort of. But also it's sort of, I'm raising other things and stuff. It's all pretty random. There's a few succulents and a couple of cycads and stuff like that are all from seed and stuff. And then there's also kind of larger succulent area, but that's all in pots, and that'll all go down, like when the front entrance and stuff starts to be a bit more defined, like a lot of that will just sort of all go down there. You can see a wallaby there that's got a real bad disease, and I've been trying to kill it for a while. It keeps on getting away, and I think it's got some sort of disease on it. And I think that as sort of as they lose their teeth, they can't eat anymore, and then they start to get sick.
A lot of suffering.
But I've seen him jumping around, or her jumping around, quite a bit, and not well. You know, really prolific. Flowers and produces heaps. Really good in fruit salads and kind of crispy, but really quite a unusual shape. So when you chop them up, you can get that real star-like kind of thing. Yeah, this is a fish pond. So it's pretty much sort of like just that idea of sort of the feng shui, I guess, with sort of the entrance to a house being sort of that idea of water, and I guess we kind of sort of as a family, and there's lots of discussion about sort of concepts of living and sort of art and whatever it is, and that whole idea of having water at the front entrance to your house, because we've been through a whole lot of droughts. It's like kind of the wealth. So it's like kind of enter our wealth. Like so, So that was a really interesting concept. And this is actually a weed, but we're actually growing it because every so often you just harvest it, take it all out of here, or not all of it, but it's really quick. The sort of it regenerates really quickly, and because of the fish manure and stuff like that, there's a whole lot of fish in there. And then you bring it out, and then it composts. So so you use it as a and it's a fantastic mulch.
It's great.
You know, so it's sort of
So
like
it's a really nice closed system there. You're producing mulch.
one of the best inventions ever in this house.
We like permaculture.
Okay. Venture on here. This is the major working area for chopping up vegetables and stuff. Yeah. So.
And there's the Permaculture magazine.
Oh right, yeah. That's a journal.
I love it.
So here we have got the compost bin. Yeah. So what you do is you just all your scraps, bang, into there, and that pretty much seals on the bottom.
Yeah, it's sealed on the bottom.
Yeah, and so you've just got this system with a knob. This is patented, by the way. Copyright,
Bye,
everything.
Mr. Sweet.
And so what happens is that compost bucket can come out, be emptied out, washed out and stuff. All you need to do is these stainless steel buckets often come with a raised tab. You just need to bash that down so it doesn't foul up. You have a ring that's sort of generally the sort of size of the diameter or circumference, and then you split it so that you can adjust it exactly to the distance. I reckon that is one of the best inventions done. Yeah. You come through here, there's ham beaten.
Ah, look who it is, Mr. Ethan.
That's ham.
Yeah, these are our coppers for when we were children. We used to bath on them.
And also that old washing coppers, you know, for when they used to boil clothes. They used to boil clothes in coppers, and these have been cut down. They used to be about that high. And they've been cut down.
Beaded, and these Molina's sort of like architectural applications and ceramics, sort of that whole kind of Gaudi thing. Slow combustion wood heater that heats all the water. But it's good to have a good old electric stove too, just because in the summer.
We've used it twice, that thing.
Yeah, but in the summer, it heats up the whole house. This thing, and you don't really need it, and it consumes wood, and it's a lot of sort of labour to get this on. Whereas, just that idea of, I guess, that kind of the ease or that kind of.
Mostly we're cooking on, if we're not using the wood stove, we're just cooking on one ring, and we just can work our meal around
The one ring.
cooking on one ring.